Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? This is Karthik Poovanam and I'm a leadership coach and author. How are you? It's indeed my pleasure to be speaking to you as I am taking this absolutely amazing drive on the highway. And I wanted to share some wonderful thoughts with every one of you. Marriage is actually on a ventilator. And I feel across the world, this whole culture of marriage is going to be completely eradicated. Or it's going to die down a very natural death. Then how do we have the next generation might be the question. Well, I feel that for a limited amount of time or for a very extended period of time, what we need is a very strong and determined effort where we are making the entire planet meditative. And we are teaching people each other certain basics on how to interact with one another, where we are able to feel the sense of harmony, integrity and equality. What? Harmony, integrity and equality. Until and unless we are able to generate this feeling of harmony, integrity and equality, bringing the next generation will only mean we are causing more chaos. And this needs to have a correction somewhere or the other, isn't it? So strongly, how can this be implemented? Well, this can be implemented when the world leaders, whenever they are meeting in G20 summits or whenever they are meeting in World Economic Forum, how will economy improve? Economy means well-being of the people. Please understand this. We cannot have a different meaning of economy today by talking about GDP, we are talking about consumer price index, we are talking about inflation. All of these things is immaterial when you have almost around 8 lakh people as on date as I'm speaking to you committing suicide. And according to statistics of 15 to 24 years, in between this range, maximum number of people are committing suicide. The number of children who are dying out of malnutrition is very, very high. People who are not able to pay for their medical bills and are becoming victims of death are even more higher. There's poverty at a very rampant pace. And I want you to do this Google research as to how much percentage of the entire population as on day today, maybe 7.2 billion people. In 7.2 billion people, how many people are below the poverty line today? Who are surviving right below $2 a day? How many people are surviving? Should this question not be asked? So people take protests, people try to have a war against the capitalists. This is all not going to work today, okay? This kind of a warfare, this kind of a, getting into street and you have weapons and, everybody gets affected by this. This game is a very, very tragic game. This game is a very dangerous game and it has reduced drastically and it has to be completely eliminated from the planet. So, how can we bring total well-being to the entire humanity? If I or you who is watching this video, they say change starts from one individual person. You change, the society changes. Please, that doesn't work, okay? When the top leadership decides something and implements the law, for example, right now, there's a traffic signal, okay, and now I'm in a hurry and I want to go. But now if I go and cross the traffic signal, there is going to be a consequence, okay? So when there is a rule, there is a regulation, everyone has to follow. Likewise, there has to be a policy level approach. In every government, the determined leadership must take an approach. And what kind of an approach they need to take? They need to bring harmony, integrity, and absolutely a kind of oneness. So this oneness, this respect when we are able to give to one another, which comes as a consequence of experiencing oneness with everybody around us. And how can I experience oneness with another person when the person is bigger than me, is having a better car than me, or if I'm having a better car than that person? So this kind of a mental difference is created because of the physical difference. So what we need is a very, very determined, strong, efficient approach towards creating an absolutely wonderful and incredible systematic approach where one's integrity is enhanced, meditativeness is bought in, and everyone feels connected and one as humanity. We need to establish this. Otherwise, just speaking about peace, just speaking about harmony is just on the paper. No, it is not going to happen. People, even if you don't poke them with a dagger, they are on a self-destructive mode. The statistics that I gave you about the number of people committing suicide, if you happen to see, just displays that. So we need to immediately, or in the due course of time, have an action plan. What steps can be taken so that reproduction can be stopped for some time across the planet, and then cultivate certain level of oneness, harmony and integrity, and then we do not need a system called as marriage. Then we can have individuals who are willing to come together, because only when you are experienced certain level of integrity, certain level of oneness, certain level of calmness, meditativeness, can you experience a profound state of pleasantness within. From this profound state of pleasantness, this absolutely profound state of pleasantness, comes the birth of love. And then two people come together with love and they have children. Now you may say that we can run a pilot project, let people come with love, and no, it's not going to happen, because the society, when we are creating children, it is a part of the society. A society, when it is so much divided, so much colored, so much of indifference is there, so much of intolerance is there towards various things, so much of hatredness is there, it becomes very challenging for new life to come and emerge. And then you say the person has to work hard, person has to struggle, person has to become tough. These are very, very cruel examples of, growing up. This is not just living, this is purely a battle. So we are preparing children for the battle called life. No, that should not be the case. We as humanity have the ability to create a conscious and incredible transformation, if only and only if the top leadership decides. I spend most of my time doing workshops with the senior leadership, and I can see the kind of efficiency that they have when they are trying to do something. Of course, it comes with its own challenges. As you can see, there is a challenge here. There is a certain challenge. I'm sorry about that. But yes, you see, our life also has a certain chaos, just like this. Either I can stop and I can start this video all again, or I can take a little time and instantly start the flow of communication. So the senior leadership has great levels of efficiency. If you look at it, the level of efficiency with which they operate is absolutely fantastic. So the senior leadership, the people who are governing various countries, must decide when would they like to have a certain break where they stop the population from growing, consciously educating people, and then bring out certain level of meditativeness, calmness and rejoicement. And then the birth of love happens. And now two individuals who want to come together, they don't necessarily have to marry. Individuals come together and there is a birth of a child. And this child does not belong to these two people, it belongs to the entire society. When the child is born, the child feels safe, secure and harmonious everywhere. Right from the time there is a neural pathway that is generated where every child in the planet feels one and connected with one another. The strong inculcation of values, the strong inculcation of respect towards one another, the strong inculcation of feel-good factors where one is feeling very good about one another, where one is not attacking each other on the basis of what one has. One is not attacking one another on the basis of the knowledge that they have, but simply there is an absolutely incredible sense of simplicity. Now this is a very far-fetched idea, and most of the people who are watching this video so far may think this may never ever happen. But this might be the same thing that the Neanderthals might have thought when, somebody might have thought about going in car, going in bike. The Homo sapiens that came, I'm sure they would have also thought about this, but it would never ever happened. Because there is enormous sense of discouragement and people like to think on the basis of what is the current reality. Until and unless something has happened, people would not like to think about it. Let's look at this situation of lockdown because of this coronavirus. Entire world was shut. Nobody ever imagined such kind of thing would ever happen. But when it was required, the leaders took the decision and it really was implemented. All the flights across the countries were shut. The borders were shut. Within the state, you could not travel. Forget about the state. You could not go from one place to the other place. 15 kilometers was the determined landmark where you could travel. Now I'm asking you, why should we be waiting for a chaos to strike? Why can't we enable the same decision making even before a chaos strikes us? All the leaders have access to the database, the statistics, the area wise, what is the livable area, what is the freshwater resources that we have today, what is the groundwater level, which is available in every place. The data is very clearly available, and if it's not available, start making it already available, start making an approach towards that, and then you will know what exactly needs to be done. So for everything, when there is a chaos, that particular point in time you want to implement population control, no, that is going to be disastrous. When everything is good, that's the time you need to plan properly. When there is no pollution, that was the time to have thought about, electric vehicles, solar vehicles. Not when you have completely polluted the environment. When you have completely uprooted a lot of trees, that's not the time to, think about, climate change. Think about, forestation. Think about, putting more trees. When rivers are dried up, that's not the time to, think about revitalizations. When everything is good, let's take action. And it's going to be possible by the leadership, because they have the ability to implement. So in my capacity, I'm going to be sharing this video to the decision makers. And I just thought I will share this wonderful idea with every one of you, because we need a world where we are talking as conscious human beings. And we are talking about solutions. Let us be a part of the solution. Great day, everyone. Good day.